I think the biggest takeaway from this game, outside of the fact that the Bills are human, they weren't just going to walk through the regular season and into the playoffs, and this is, maybe a sign of there's a more parity in the AFC East than we thought, is the thought to Tua. And the thought, a lot of people were saying, hey, it's a head injury, we need to reevaluate this. Hell, the NFLPA after the game was saying that. Come to find out, Tua said it was a back injury. Now, I don't know if he's trying to cover up for his team, which makes this conversation kind of tough, because I've told you before, I was with a team where I had a concussion and we marked it down as a neck injury, and it was not a neck injury. And it was just so I could be healthy going into the regular season.
Really?
Yes.
You never told that story.
Yeah, well, I might get some people in trouble. But that stuff happens where you have a conversation with the team and you're basically saying, like, hey, I want to make sure I can help the team out and do what I can. And you might be putting yourself in harm's way, but it's football. You're always putting yourself in harm's way when you walk out on that field. And so that's one of the bigger stories. Is it looked like Tua had, when he got thrown down to the ground by, I believe it was Matt Milano, that he hit the back of his head.
Yes, hard.
And it looked like he got up woozy. And that's the problem, is not being able to have players protect themselves sometimes. Look, maybe fans don't care about it, but it was tough watching him get up and stumble and have a hard time walking around, dealing with what looked to be a concussion.
What was the Hines Ward move? He would just pretend like there was something wrong with his cleat.
Calf cramp or cleat or leg, yeah.
Like every time he got his bell rung, he would just reach down and feel for his ankle. Be like, there's something going on with my ankle.
I used to, when I used to black out when I get hit, I would just used to act like I was tying my shoe. I remember one time in Kansas City, though, I literally, I got hit. And I could not see, my vision was blurry, and I kept rubbing my eyes thinking I had something in my eyes. And eventually, the way I got hit, it knocked my lens off of my eyes. It was I had to go through this whole training of how to see again. It was the weirdest thing, but that's just one of many stories that players will have from getting hit.
So I remember this because it happened a couple of months ago. So Pat McAfee was calling a WWE event in Las Vegas.
Great stuff, yeah.
And then they all went to a UFC event right afterwards because they were both in town on the same night. And Pat McAfee was part of the show. He got into an altercation, and the guy allegedly hurt his neck. So McAfee, to sell it all the way through as a good company guy for WWE, showed up to the UFC event, and he was wearing a neck brace because he wanted to keep it going, and he didn't want to just show up and everything was fine, and he's drinking a cocktail watching the UFC event with this neck brace on. Tua pulled the same move yesterday because he's trying to tell everybody it was a back injury. And instead of just telling everybody it was a back injury, it looked like he'd actually taped an ice pack to his back when he was talking to the media afterwards. So give him credit. He's really trying to sell this whole thing. I don't buy for a single second that it was a back injury. He slammed his head on the turf. He got up. He was wobbly. You've had back issues. Do you get the stank leg when you're trying to walk away because of your back issues in a move like that? I don't buy it for a second. And I think the Dolphins are going to get a little bit of heat from this. And I think this investigation that is already being launched because everybody was talking about it, I think the Dolphins are going to get some heat for this. Now, I don't know what sort of punishment it is. Was it like a fine? Do they make him, sit out for a half? I don't know what it's going to result in. But
they're going to make him sit out for a half.
Who knows?
Really?
I don't know. I mean, what are they going to do? I mean, look, he came out for the second half. You got to miss the first half of the next game. But I don't
think it works like that.
Well, listen, maybe it should.
Well, here's the only thing I'll say with back injuries is, you can have whatever leg or stank foot, whatever you just said. It's called drop foot. It's a real symptom that you do have from back injuries. So if Tua was dealing with something like that, you can definitely have some issues with that. That's a real thing. I'm not going to discount what said he was dealing with from that. I'm just going to say it looked like when he got up, when he got woozy like that, you don't get woozy and need a player to catch you. That doesn't come from the lack of stability in your leg. That looked like he was having he was knocked out and trying to get up. Kind of like a boxer you see get knocked out, but he's still walking around the ring, even though he is not fully there. So.
Here was Tua talking about the quote-unquote back injury after the game.
Right now it's tight. I mean, it was sore when it did happen. But, yeah, I mean, any competitor that would have never wanted to come out would have did the same thing. So I was just trying my hardest to get back up and get the next play and run it.
So to clarify, did you hit the back of your head when you fell down on that play?
Yeah, I did, but I think I really hit my back first because that's what I felt first.
I'll tell you what, man. The more I see him and have the chance to listen to him or even talk to him, the more I love the kid. Like he's a warrior.
I love him too, but
people tend to forget. Like let's just go back for a second. Do people forget back in what was it, 2018 or 19? It was 19.
19.
When he basically had surgery on his ankle to come back sooner, to not even be 100%. To go play Joe Burrow in LSU.
And he was going throw for throw with Burrow in that game.
Throw for throw on a leg and a half.
Yep.
On a leg and a half. He was limping out there. He had no business being in that game.
That was a great game, by the way.
This dude's a warrior. People need to start appreciating the way he goes about getting out there to play. And some of it might be like, hey, look, he's trying to impress a new head coach. He's trying to get that second big deal and prove it to his team. I know it's early. I know we're only 3 games in the season. He's proven it to me. I think if you look at his body of work, he's proven it too. The sad thing is there's so many Miami Dolphins fans, and I've got buddies that I've said this to for a while, and I've said, look, he's not Justin Herbert. He's not Josh Allen. He's very capable of being a starter and franchise quarterback. He is. His skill set, it is. He just needed a coach who believed in him. He's got that now, and he's selling out for his team. Like, I think this dude is loved on the team, and I think, look, they got a shot. Like, they literally just stole one there. I mean, and if you split now, who knows how the rest of the division ends up looking in the AFC East? Because, the Bills are getting the injury bug right now, and this could, this might only get worse for them moving forward.
Look, people can call us the TDL all they want, the Tua Defense League here on this show, because we've been sticking up for this guy ever since Brian
Did you
Flores.
just make that up?
Yeah, kind of. That's why I had to spell it out and think about it before I did, so I had it correct.
You almost messed it up.
I did.
You?
I actually did. So listen, as part of the TDL, the Tua Defense League, we would like to just send everybody out there on a high note here. We love the kid. We love everything about him. We've been telling people about him for a couple of years. Brian Flores had it out for him. It was clear. It was obvious. They chose Tua over Brian Flores, and I think they made the right decision if it comes down to that. But come on, dude. The best move for him after the game would have been to say, no, I didn't hit the back of my head. Like, if you're going to go through with this whole thing, you need to keep people really on their toes. And if he would have just said, no, I didn't hit the back of my head, what are you talking about? When it's clear he slammed into the back of the turf. And then what was his explanation? That he thought he hit his back first. Can we play that last part again, that he thought he hit his back first? This was Tua talking to the media yesterday.
So to clarify, did you hit the back of your head when you fell down on that play?
Yeah, I did, but I think I really hit my back first because that's what I felt first.
He landed
He's
on
awesome.
like,
I hit my back first.
I don't know.
He's almost like that kid. Remember, like when you were like junior high or high school, that the teacher just wanted to they wanted to get mad at, or they wanted to yell at for doing something, but they just had an excuse that was very probable, and they're like, I can't help it, and then their delivery is such that you can't help but kind of love the kid, but you want to give them a hard time.
It's kind of an aw shucks, like shucks. Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. I hit my head, but it hit my back. Like that was what I felt
first. I hit my freaking back first.
I broke my back.
Thank you. Yeah, and listen.
Spinal.
Look, it's the he's the pride of St. Louis High School on the island of Oahu.
Hawaii.
Yeah, the blowtorch of the Hawaiian Islands. Fox Sports 990. Shout out as they're listening.
Is
here.
that not a blowtorch out there?
Yeah, it's a blowtorch. Fox Sports 990. Come on, Of course it is.
Well, you didn't do the normal the blowtorch.
Well, I mean, you want me to really sell it?
Hold on. The blowtorch.
Yeah, that was good.
Thank you.
Hey,
I've been working on that.
Hey, Lee, you know what, man? Look at how far he's come. All right, he used to not be able to do that, and now he can covering a mic and pulling a blowtorch right here on the air. That's just phenomenal stuff. Lee, he's really come a long way. I'm telling you, man.
The strides we've made together.
This is just
Thanks, Lee.
tremendous stuff.
It's all credit to you and Lee.
This
You
is
two
tremendous
degenerates.
stuff. So shout out. Hawaii's got themselves a warrior, a guy who reportedly is suffering from a back injury as he gave the stank leg trying to get up from hitting the back of his head on the turf. So there's that, but the Dolphins are undefeated. They are the best team in the AFC East as of now, and that was a fun game to watch yesterday.